Welcome to the Author to Authority podcast. And today it's just me, Kim Thompson-Pinder, on the show. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to share with you about a journey that I have been on in writing my newest book, which happens to be called Author to Authority. And I've been working on this book probably for about a year and a half. Now, you're probably wondering, why can't a writer who has written over 100 books not get her book done in a reasonable amount of time? Well, the answer is pretty simple. I run RTI Publishing. I also still do some of the writing, the editing, formatting, and overseeing of the whole company, including sales, accounting, managing my staff. And so that, along with a few just challenges that I faced in 2019, I made the decision to put Author to Authority on the shelf for a little while. But what I want to talk to you about today is part of the process of book writing. When I decided to write Author to Authority, I had a lot of different ideas, and I was stewing them around, and I was working, and I had created an outline. In fact, I've created 2 or 3 outlines for this book. But over 2019, I had grown a lot as a person. I had learned a lot about myself, my business, who I serve, how I help people. And when I went back over Christmas and I started looking at my outline, I just knew it wasn't right anymore. It wasn't the message that I wanted to convey. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to think about this some more. I'm not going to do any writing right now because I really want to think this through. And Christmas was a time where I took a step back. I was not working on projects. I took time to relax, which was much needed. Like I said, 2019 had a lot of challenges. I really didn't take any vacation or downtime. So over Christmas, I was just taking downtime. And I was really enjoying it. You know, I was thinking through what was 2020 going to look like. You know, what things did I want to implement? What things did I want to grow? What things really didn't work in 2019 and I needed to cut back on? What were some of the desires of my heart that I wanted to do in 2020? And so those were all the things that I was thinking of. And maybe in another episode, I'll share with you some of what the decisions that I've made and that entrepreneurial process. Because you need to always, as an entrepreneur, go back and look at things. Look at the last 3 months. Look at the last 6 months. What worked? What didn't work? You know, if something's not working, it's time to get rid of it. Or if it's not working, you need to look at why it's not working and fix it. So, you know, those were the kind of decisions that I was making. But when it came to book writing, I thought, oh, I'm going to get a whole ton done over Christmas. And like I said, that outline just was not cutting it for me. And then a very strange thing happened. I was in the shower, just a really long, hot, relaxing shower. I wasn't really thinking about anything. I was just enjoying it. And all of a sudden, this massive revelation hit me about the book. And I was like, oh, I gotta get this written down. So I stopped my shower early and I get out of the shower. Now, I have a really wonderful husband. Some of you may not know I'm half black, half white. My hair is all black. And yes, it looks nice and straight here. But can I tell you, see all this curl? That's chemically straightened. Okay, so that's the amount of curl my hair has when it's chemically straightened. when it is not chemically straightened, I have a massive poop ball. So my hair is very thick. It's actually very long. You know, if you look at it, it actually goes a good way down my back. And, you know, sometimes it's hard for me to do a lot of this. So my lovely, wonderful husband, when he's home, will sit and brush my hair for me, especially when it's getting really thick. I haven't chemically straightened it for a while. And so I get out of the shower. I wrap myself in a towel. I run into my office. You know, my husband and my daughter are looking at me very strangely. I grab a piece of paper. I grab a pen because I know if I do not get this down on paper, I'm going to forget it. And it was such an amazing revelation. Such a moment of clarity about the direction that I want to take the book in. And so I ran into the bedroom. And my husband comes in and he kind of looks at me and I'm like, he's like, do you want me to brush my hair? Brush your hair? I'm like, yes, but I just got a whole bunch of ideas for my book and I need to get them down. So he sat and brushed my hair, didn't say a word to me, and I'm writing, still in a towel. You know, about half an hour later, I was still in a towel, sitting in my bedroom, just writing because the ideas were flowing. And actually within that day or so, I wrote the next chapter in the Author to Authority series. So what I want to talk to you today about is the fact that your book writing is always going to be a journey. And in the beginning, you may not be 100% clear about what you want your book to be about. But I want to encourage you not to let that stop you. Because as you work on the book, revelation will come. If you wait for revelation to write, probably won't happen. For me, revelation came because I finally had a little bit of time to actually think about the book in a relaxed setting where my brain bandwidth was not focused on 5 or 6 other books that I was writing. Slightly different situations. Sometimes I'm writing thousands of words a day. So by the time I get to write my own stuff, my bandwidth is pretty low. I've run out of creative juice. But for you, you know, writing the book will give you revelation. And yes, you may go back and you may rewrite a chapter. That's okay. But get going and get writing your book now so that you can release it in the spring and in the summer, or maybe even the fall, depending upon your game plan and how much time you have to write. But revelation comes as you take time to work on it. And sometimes that's hard, but start writing. Just start writing. And if you have not started your book yet, and you want to have a book done, and you know that you just cannot do it, or you need help, or you need guidance, or you want somebody to write it for you, then you know what? Come talk to me. Let's have a chat. Let's have a conversation. Let's see if we're a good fit for each other. Maybe I can teach you how to write a book, or maybe me and my company can write your book for you. Your nonfiction signature book. We do not do fiction books. So if that's something that interests you, go to rtipublishinghouse.com, and on the home page you'll see Get a Quote button. Just fill it in, and we will book a time to chat. And we could just talk about what it is that you want to do. So that's my suggestion for you today. And that's the update on Author to Authority. And I will be doing more podcasts on the book as it comes. Right now, the goal is to get it out in late spring. And that's going to be my focus for the next few months, along with this podcast and a few other things, which I'll talk about on a later episode. So thanks so much for listening. Always feel free to come find me on Facebook. We have an amazing group called Author to Authority, easy to remember. You can connect with me there. You can ask questions. You can find out more about becoming an author, about becoming that authority in your niche. And we just have a good time in the group. Lots of learning and lots of laughs. So this is Kim Thompson-Pinder, and we'll see you on the next episode.